Lily was 4 years old when something extraordinary happened in a church in the state of Texas. What came out of this little girl's mouth that Saturday morning made 120 people stop breathing. This is the miracle of the Virgin Mary that transformed a family forever. But before we continue, leave a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is there right now. I'd love to see how far the miracles of the Virgin Mary are reaching. Do you know that kind of silence that hurts? Not the silence of an empty house, the silence of someone who is right there in front of you, but who never, ever answers when you call. Rachel knew that silence. Lily, 4 years old, brown hair that shimmered golden in the sunlight, green eyes like emeralds. But Lily had severe autism, and in her entire life she had never spoken a single word. Rachel was only 26. She worked as a secretary in a law firm in Austin, Texas. Lily's father? He disappeared the day the diagnosis arrived. "I can't handle this," was all he said, before vanishing forever. You know when you call your child and they come running? When they wake up in the morning and shout, "Mommy"? Rachel never had that. Never. Every morning, the same routine. Lily woke up at 6:45, always, like a Swiss clock. She sat in the same chair, ate the same toast with strawberry jam and warm milk. If by any chance the jam ran out, Lily became visibly uncomfortable and refused to eat anything else. Linda, Rachel's mother, arrived every day at 7. A widow, she lived 3 blocks away. "Go to work, my daughter. I'll take care of Lily." And Rachel went. Because the bills didn't pay themselves, because life didn't stop. Afternoons were a marathon. Monday and Wednesday, therapy. Tuesday and Thursday, speech therapy. "She will talk one day," Sophie, the therapist, would say. Some cases take longer. But Rachel saw the truth in Sophie's eyes, that doubt, that maybe never. Dr. Morrison, the neurologist, was more direct. "Rachel, you need to prepare yourself for the possibility that Lily may never develop speech. Some cases of severe autism." Rachel never let him finish. She walked out of the office with Lily in her arms, swallowing her tears. Because mothers don't give up, even when everyone else already has. At home, Lily had her rituals. She lined up objects. Pencils, spoons, anything she could organize into perfect rows. She watched the same DVD 3 times a day. All was the same one. If Rachel tried to change it, Lily became agitated, flapping her little hands. But then something strange began. Something Rachel noticed first 3 months ago. It was a Tuesday, 11:15 at night. Rachel woke up thirsty and went to the kitchen to get some water. As she passed by Lily's room, she stopped. Lily was standing at the window. That never happened. Since she was a baby, she slept through the entire night without waking up. Rachel took 2 slow steps. Lily was motionless, hands on the cold glass, staring at the dark sky. And her lips, they were moving. There was no sound, only the movement. Precise. Rachel felt her stomach tighten. "Lily," she whispered. Lily didn't answer. She stayed there, her lips moving in a rhythm. She paused, as if she were listening to something. Then her lips moved again. After about 5 minutes, Lily simply went back to bed, laid down, slept. Rachel remained in the doorway, heart pounding. What had that been? The next morning, while they were having breakfast, Rachel took a deep breath before speaking. "Mom, something strange happened yesterday." Linda looked up. Lily was at the window, moving her lips, as if she were talking. Linda stopped spreading butter on the bread. Talking? Just moving her lips, silently. Linda frowned. "It could be a new behavior." Rachel nodded. It made sense. Dr. Morrison had explained about repetitive behaviors, but something inside her said it was different. 3 nights later, it happened again. Rachel stood in the doorway, not daring to go in. Lily was in the same position, hands on the glass, eyes fixed on the sky, lips moving, like before. But there was one new detail. Lily was smiling, a small, gentle smile. Lily almost never smiled. And when she did, it was always random, disconnected. But that smile felt directed, as if she were happy about something, about someone. 2 weeks went by, Rachel watching, trying to understand. The pattern repeated itself with unsettling precision. On Thursday, at the end of the session, the speech therapist pulled Rachel aside. "Rachel, Lily looked at me today." Rachel froze. She looked? Yes, 3 times. Quick. But she looked. She never does that. Rachel felt a chill run up her spine. Coincidence? It didn't seem like it. And then, on an apparently ordinary Tuesday, everything changed. Rachel got home from work around 3 in the afternoon. She found Linda in the kitchen, pale, holding a piece of paper with trembling hands. "Mom, what happened?" Linda couldn't speak. She just held out the paper. Rachel took it. One glance was enough to knock the air out of her lungs. It was a drawing, childlike strokes, shaky, clumsy, but unmistakable. A female figure, with something covering her head, a veil or mantle, and at her feet circles that resembled flowers. "Lily, did she draw this?" Linda nodded, tears streaming down her face. "By herself. I was washing dishes. When I came back to the living room, she was holding the paper. Rachel, she never draws, never. In 4 years." Rachel looked at the drawing, her hands trembling. The figure on the paper, the veil, the flowers. "Mom, this looks like—" "I know," Linda whispered. "It looks like the Virgin Mary." Rachel let herself fall onto the couch, the drawing still trapped between her fingers. Lily, on the floor, lined up colored pencils with her usual calm, completely unaware of the revolution she had caused. "Where did she see this, Mom? We don't have images of the Virgin Mary at home." Linda slowly sat down beside her. "Rachel, what if someone is showing it to her?" "Who, Mom?" Linda shifted her gaze toward the window. "You said it yourself. She looks at the sky every night, moves her lips, smiles. And now she makes this drawing." "Mom, no, we're not going down that path. Rachel, your daughter, who has never picked up a pencil to draw, just made an image of the Virgin Mary. How do you explain that?" Rachel opened her mouth, but nothing came out. She looked at Lily, who continued organizing the pencils methodically, always in the same color order. The next day, Linda insisted, "Rachel, let's take Lily to church." "Mom, just once. If she's seeing Our Lady, if she's drawing—" "Rachel, what if God is trying to tell us something?" Rachel looked at the drawing on the table, the veil, the flowers, the nights at the window, the smiles, the small leaps of progress that had come from nowhere. She took a deep breath. "Sunday. We'll go on Sunday." But when Sunday came, Rachel backed out. "Lily is restless. The rain is getting in the way. Better another day." On Thursday, the phone rang. It was Mrs. Patterson. "Rachel, I need to tell you something. Lily did something extraordinary today." Rachel felt her heart race. "What?" "One of the children, Emma, fell on the playground and started crying, and Lily—" She went to her. She touched her shoulder, intentionally. "Rachel, I have never seen Lily initiate physical contact." Rachel hung up slowly, her hands trembling. It was too many changes, too fast. Something was happening, and she didn't know what. The next Saturday the day began calm. But it wouldn't end that way. "Let's go out for a bit," Rachel said after breakfast. "Let's take a walk." She dressed Lily in the yellow dress her grandmother had given her, tied her hair into 2 pigtails. Lily let her put on the shoes without resisting, and then they went out. Rachel walked with Lily along the sidewalk, tiny hands intertwined. The park was only a few blocks away. Lily, who rarely reacted to her surroundings, was different that day, looking around, more awake, more present. When they reached the main street, Lily simply stopped. She froze in place, and she pulled her mother's hand with force. "Lily, what is it?" Rachel followed her daughter's gaze. It was a Catholic church. Rachel walked past it every day on her way to work, but she had never truly paid attention to it. Lily was staring fixedly at the church. Rachel had never seen her daughter react like that. "Do you want to go inside?" she murmured, not expecting an answer. Lily tugged Rachel's hand with surprising strength. Toward the church steps, a chill ran down Rachel's spine. "All right, let's go." They climbed the steps together. The interior was simple but welcoming. Dark wooden pews polished by time, colorful stained glass windows casting rainbows over the marble floor, the smell of burning candles in the air, and people watching the choir rehearse for Sunday Mass. Lily let go of her mother's hand and began to walk, alone, down the central aisle. Rachel followed, whispering apologies to the people who turned to look. But Lily didn't seem lost. She walked with the confidence of someone who had a clear destination, as if she knew exactly where she was going, and then Rachel understood where her daughter was headed. On the left side of the altar there was a statue of the Virgin Mary. White marble, sky-blue veil, hands placed in prayer, about 5 feet tall. Candles flickered at the image's feet and white roses perfumed the space. Lily stopped right in front of the statue. She lifted her face and raised her little arms, the way any child does when asking to be held. But the statue was far too tall to reach. Rachel knelt beside her daughter, her heart pounding. You want to touch?" Lily turned her face toward her mother. And for the first time in 4 years, she nodded yes, a clear yes. Rachel felt tears starting to gather. She lifted Lily slowly, almost breathless. "You can touch, my love." Lily stretched out her hands and touched the feet of the statue. Her small hands rested on the cold marble, and in that moment she closed her eyes. She became completely still. 5 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. Rachel could barely hold her daughter. Her hands trembled so much. "Lily?" Lily opened her eyes and looked directly at Rachel. Full eye contact. Deep, connected, for the first time. And she opened her mouth. "Ma, Ma." Her voice came out hoarse, weak, but it was real. Rachel nearly lost her balance. "What? Lily, you spoke." Tears streamed down her face before she even noticed. Lily kept her hand on the statue, her gaze locked on her mother's. "Ma, Ma." This time, firmer. Rachel fell to her knees, still holding Lily, crying uncontrollably. "Lily, my love." Lily removed her hand from the statue and placed it on her mother's face. She touched the tears and spoke again. Maria spoke to me. Rachel couldn't process what she was hearing. Who spoke to you?" Lily pointed to the statue. "Maria." Then she placed her hand on her own chest. "Spoke here." At that moment a side door opened. A priest entered and stopped when he saw the scene. Rachel on her knees on the floor, holding a small girl, both in front of the statue of the Virgin Mary. "Is everything all right here?" he asked, taking a quick step forward. Rachel lifted her face, completely covered in tears. "Father, my daughter, she has never spoken. She has severe autism. 4 years without ever saying a single word. And now," she touched the statue and she couldn't finish the sentence. She just kept crying. Rachel hugged Lily with all the strength she had. "My God, my God, my God." The priest had tears in his eyes. "You have witnessed a miracle of the Virgin Mary." Rachel remained there, on her knees on the floor of that church, holding her daughter, crying from relief, from gratitude, from shock, from happiness, all at once. When she finally managed to stand, the priest introduced himself. "I'm Father James. This has been my parish for 15 years, and I can say with certainty that what happened here today was a miracle." Rachel was still trembling. "Father, I don't even know what to say." "I don't even believe in—" "You don't need to say anything," the priest interrupted gently. "Just receive this grace." As soon as she got home, Rachel called Linda. She could barely speak through the crying. She told her everything. Linda cried too on the other end of the line. "I knew it, Rachel. I knew the Virgin Mary was with her. I always knew. Mom, I'm sorry for everything I said, for not believing you were right the whole time." Linda went to visit the next day. When she saw Lily, the girl looked at her and said, Grandma." Linda collapsed into tears, hugging her granddaughter. In the following weeks, Lily continued to progress. She said isolated words, then short phrases. "Mama, water. I want play. Where Teddy?" Her speech was slow, effortful, but it existed. It existed where before there had only been complete silence. At the next appointment with Dr. Morrison, he was completely speechless. "Rachel, this is unexplainable. Lily is progressing in a way I have never seen in my entire career." Sophie, the therapist, said something similar. "It's as if something inside her has unlocked, as if a locked door had suddenly been opened." At school, Mrs. Patterson couldn't believe it. She called Rachel emotional. "Rachel, Lily is interacting with other children. Yesterday she held a classmate's hand during an activity. Today she smiled at me." One night the routine was simple. Brush teeth, choose one of the 3 favorite books, and then turn off the lamplight. But before lying down, the girl held Rachel's face with both little hands. Those hands that once avoided touch now touched with affection, with presence. "Mommy?" Rachel smiled. Even now that word moved her as if it were the first time. "Yes, my love?" Lily took a deep breath, as if trying to organize words inside her chest. "Mary said you strong." Rachel closed her eyes for a second. She felt the tears rise. "I love you so much, Lily." Lily rested her forehead on hers, a gesture she never used to do. "Love you, too." Today Lily has friends. She runs, she plays, she laughs, she speaks, sometimes slowly, sometimes stumbling over syllables. But she speaks. She speaks enough to say what she feels, what she wants, what she dreams. And every word she says is like music to Rachel. Every Sunday, Rachel and Linda take Lily to church. The same church where everything began. Lily always asks to sit near the statue of the Virgin Mary, and before leaving, she walks on her own to the image, touches the feet of the statue, and whispers something softly, a phrase that no one but her and heaven can hear. This is the miracle of the Virgin Mary in Lily's life. The little girl who lived in silence for 4 years until the day she touched the image of Our Lady and regained her voice. The day heaven showed that miracles still happen. The day a mother who had lost her faith witnessed the power of the Virgin Mary transforming her daughter's life forever. Before finishing, I want to invite you to be part of our prayer community dedicated to the Virgin Mary, a place of faith and hope where people from all over the world come together to pray and share the graces they have received. If you feel in your heart the desire to be part of this prayer chain, click below and become a member of the channel today, and come pray with us. And listen, if you made it this far to the end of Lily's story, do one thing for me. Write in the comments, Lily, the name of the little girl who lived 4 years in silence until the Virgin Mary gave her a voice. I want to see how many hearts this story truly reached. And every time I read that name in the comments, I'll know that one more person believes that miracles of the Virgin Mary still happen. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Write in the comments about a miracle you have witnessed or experienced, and share this video with someone who needs to renew their hope today. May the Virgin Mary continue blessing and protecting you and your family. Amen.